In today's video, we are making this Star Wars inspired lightsaber fungo bat. So stick around, you aren't going to want to miss how this one is made. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are making a Star Wars lightsaber bat. This commission came from someone online, and I am super thrilled for the chance to finally get to do this. This has been something that people have been requesting for a long while, but it's been a bit of a struggle to find someone that's wanted to pull the trigger and make it happen. So thanks a ton for making this happen. You know who you are if you bought this, but if you are new here, this is not my regular setup. Once again, I am still in my father's shop. Thanks a ton to my father. You rock, and your shop is really cool. But anyway, let's get right into carving this fungo. As always, we start by finding center on both ends of the billet. This is very easy using that little tool. You can get them for a few bucks on Amazon. Then after we get it mounted in the lathe, we just kind of go over it a few passes just to make everything nice and even. Makes it way easier to start carving. After the initial shaping, it's time to get shaping the rest of the bat. This one is very similar to a lot of the other fungos I've made. The only thing that is different from a baseball and a fungo bat is the weight, the length, and the size of the barrel. It is a lot thinner. Makes it easier to hit those ground balls and pop flies at practice. Due to the light weight of the billet, it does chatter a bit, so you see a little bit of wobble there in the barrel. That is nothing to be afraid of. It shouldn't affect the performance at all, but just because it is a little lighter, it does want to move on you a little bit. But we used a first coat of primer because we are using a light color, and it does not stick or show up very well on a natural barrel. So we just put a few coats of primer on just as a base. And then I'm going to work on the handle first. So we put a few coats of black, and then we cut out some vinyl. This is going to be our stencil for the handle here. I'm going for a specific look. If you can guess which lightsaber hilt this is supposed to be emulating, leave it in the comments. And I ended up not liking that little detail there on the end of the handle, so I just painted over it. Painted a little bit of gold, and the handle was done. Then we go with green on this barrel. This light green looks really cool. It does take a few more coats than darker colors. Just takes a little bit more to cover up whatever's underneath. But it took way less coats this time than when I used a natural barrel. This primer helped a ton. Then it's time to cut out a logo. And once we take the tape off there, it looks really nice. And we get our logo ready. And we just take a little bit of transfer tape, stick it on there, and it is ready to go on the bat. I chose green to kind of blend in with the barrel. You know, I wanted it to kind of look like a lightsaber, and it would look a little silly if there was a bright logo on there. Having the logo that blends in a little bit kind of just ties it all together. Then it is a few coats of finish on top of that, and it'll be ready to chop the ends off. And after putting on a few coats of finish, we are left with our Star Wars bat just like this. I am absolutely thrilled with how this one turned out. For my first time doing a project kind of like this, I think it couldn't have gone much better. There's just a few things I would have changed. So I did chop off the ends. This one is remaining uncupped because it is a fungo bat. It does not need to be any lighter than it already is. There's the knob, cut and sprayed that. And let's get a closer look at this logo. I love the light green on this other green, this other light green. I think it looks really, really nice. Coming down to the handle, there's a few spots where it could be a little nicer, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. This was inspired by Luke Skywalker's lightsaber handle, so if you got that right, good job. But I am super thrilled with how this one turned out. If you'd like to see more bat making videos here in the future, leave a comment, maybe leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.